Hey everybody, I'm Dan, and this is Dan the DM YouTube channel. And today, I'm going to be walking you through me making a slim dice tower. This is a little project, really the first project I decided to do when I got my new laser. Wanted to show you kind of all the steps I take. I will tell you that this went through about probably 6 different iterations just to get to what I would consider the first prototype. Here, I am using a software called Lightburn. Lightburn is actually the interface with my laser. Really excited. Got a new Omtech 80-watt laser. I actually did record myself opening that crate and all, so I'll share that with you guys sometime. But here is where I do most of my design. There's actually a couple of good websites, and I will put the links down in the description for making boxes like this. So I always start with creating just a really basic box, and then I do a whole bunch of editing in Lightburn. And here we go! Using some of that scrap wood that I've got, cutting out one of the first boxes. I would still say my 3D printer is probably my favorite tool in my arsenal, but man, this laser is awesome. Here we go, pulling out the first set of pieces for the very first prototype. There's going to be a couple of things in this video, just because, you know, there's a lot of videos out there that just show things being made perfectly, and I want to show you that things don't always come out perfect first try. And you're going to see that here. This is 5mm plywood that I'm using. One of the big advantages of having a more powerful laser is being able to cut this a little bit thicker wood. Here you're going to see one of the first flaws in my design. But you know what? If we didn't keep editing, we didn't keep trying new things, we wouldn't discover it. So yeah, here I discovered I need some way to attach these two. So back to the drawing board. And a little bit later, here are a bunch of new pieces. So this is actually a couple of iterations later. A couple of things I noticed. One, I wanted that little design on the front. But the biggest design changes I made were really with the ramps. My first design I tested with a couple of test die that I have, and I noticed that either the dice were not rolling all the way through, or they were getting stuck in the dice tower, which is not good. Since this is going to be a slim design, and really it's only really good for rolling one die, a lot of my other designs are larger, so you can roll multiple dice. I know when I'm playing, I like to roll my d20 and the damage dice, just to kind of keep things moving. But this really isn't a design you can do that. You might be able to roll a couple dice, but really it's designed just as a DM. I roll a d20 probably more than anything, so I wanted that. It also was designed to save space on my tabletop. As a DM, you know, I'm limited with space behind my DM screen, so I thought, hey, let's try to design something that's small. There you go. That's the first prototype. If you like this kind of content, I would really appreciate if you would like this video, leave a comment down below. What do you think of a small design? Let me know what you think. I always glue all mine together. I know a lot of the kits you can buy on Etsy or even on Amazon come to where you just put them together. Tolerance, I could probably tighten up the tolerance for the little tabs a little bit more and make it to where you did not have to glue them. But right now, I'm not trying to mass produce these, so I kind of prefer just to have them all stick together and be very solid once it's done. I really love this 5mm thick plywood as opposed to the 3mm that I've had to use in the past on some of my other dice towers. This is a tool bench I bought, you may have seen in other videos. I bought this specifically for this vise, for this purpose. It works great for putting together these dice towers and keeping them solid while the glue dries. And here I'm just trying to spread out that tension a little bit more. This is the dice tray, so this is the piece that the dice will be rolling into. I decided in this model to make it all one piece, which is a little bit different design. A lot of times my dice tray will be separate, and the dice tower will be separate. I usually at least try to design the dice towers to fit inside the dice tray to make it easier to transport. This design probably isn't the best for transport, since, as you can see, you need space to hold that. The slim design, though, I think will fit a lot better, like into my DM bag, whereas a larger dice tower may not fit if it was one piece like this. Hey, look at those nice legs. Alright, so the next thing I like to always do is use my little mouse sander and just smooth out all the edges. Again, I know I've said it before, but this 5mm plywood, it fits so much better together than the 3mm. 3mm, I'm using the mouse to really clean up the edges a lot more, where this is really smooth, and really I'm just using a high grit. I think I'm using like a 400 grit on this, just to really just smooth it out and clean it up, and just make it smoother before I do any kind of finishing work. So next you're going to see I had this bright idea. What I decided is, on that little emblem that I made on the front, I got this idea of doing something similar. My vision was for it to look more like, almost like a resin, epoxy resin in there. So I just used an unthinned red paint, thinking it would be thick enough to dry in there. I also wanted it to have kind of a, for lack of a better term, a distressed look, like it's been through a battle. It had been I was trying to get a little bit of shading on the wood, knowing that I was going to come back and sand it, and I just kind of wanted maybe the paint to seep into the wood a little bit. I didn't get exactly the desired look that I was going for. But the end result, I wasn't totally unhappy with. It looks a little messy, but I'm not. You probably saw it in the thumbnail. I'm not unhappy with it, but it's probably not a technique I would use. So now it's time. Now it is time. So I think that's... I had a premonition because I got a whole bunch of paper towels. For some reason, this stain was the hardest thing, the hardest can of stain I've ever had to open. And as you can see, now watch. You tell me. I had this can open. Watch the lid. I mean, look, it's starting to open. See it? It's starting to open. But hey, you know what? It's almost. It looks open to me. So, you know what? Let's just put a little bit more force. Oh, yep. Hey, I am glad I was wearing gloves. And kids, that's why we wear gloves. But you know what you're gonna see now? You're not gonna see me go back to that can at all. Waste not, want not. Everything that I spilled right there is what I used to stain this dice tower. I apologize in advance for the poor shot here. I'm kind of out of the frame of the camera for a lot of this part. One little trick that I've learned is, you'll see here in a minute, I'm going to go grab a paintbrush and come back and work on a lot of the little crevices and areas that it's hard to get to with a rag. So the next piece I decided was, well, you'll see. That is actually glue that I'm putting in my little crevice. I'm going to add a little bit more flair to it. I think what really happened here is I opened up my utility closet that I have, and I saw I saw a jar of glitter. My wife loves glitter. Everything I make for her, everything D&D related, has to have glitter on it. So I have a lot of glitter. Most of you will know that using glitter is very dangerous. Glitter does get everywhere. I am using a marshmallow skewer there, if anybody is wondering. Actually works great. It's nice and long, so it's easy to use, almost like a pencil. It has a nice little tip on it. So I have a bag of those. And here comes the glitter. Oh yeah. Yo, no, no, you need more. Yep, some more. And there we go. Hey everybody, thanks for watching my video. If you enjoyed it, please hit like, leave a comment, share it with your friends, and if you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe to the channel. Thanks again for watching the video, and I'll see you next time.